A simple overlooked beneficiary designation turned a $500,000 inheritance value into a $120,000 tax nightmare. Here's what went wrong and how you can avoid it. Here's the scenario. A widow passed away with a $500,000 IRA. Her will left everything equal to her 3 adult children. Everybody thought the estate planning was perfect. It wasn't. What went wrong? Her ex-husband from 30 years ago was still listed as the beneficiary on her IRA. She'd forgotten to update it after the divorce. The devastating result, the ex-husband received the entire $500,000 because the beneficiary designation always overrides a will. The children received nothing from her largest asset. The family filed a lawsuit, which cost them $80,000 in legal fees, but they lost the case because the beneficiary designation is legally binding. The ex-husband had to pay $200,000 in taxes because he wasn't a spouse, and there was no spousal rollover benefit for which he was eligible. The total family lost $280,000 plus in taxes and legal fees from one overlooked form. The beneficiary designation rule overrides everything. Your will, your trust, your verbal wishes, your written wishes, and written letters. Here are the accounts with beneficiary designations. Retirement accounts, 401k, 403b, IRA, Roth IRA. Life insurance policies. Bank accounts with POD, payable on death. Investment accounts with TOD, transfer on death. Annuities, and some real estate deeds. So here's your action plan this week. Day 1 and 2, inventory a list of every account that has a beneficiary designation. And call the institution to get a change of beneficiary form. Yes. Day 3 to 4, you're going to review all of the current beneficiary forms that you have, and yet you are going to complete the new, fresh beneficiary form that the company probably emails you. Day 5 to 6, you're going to update and change outdated designations accordingly. Don't wait for someday. And you're going to mail that on day 7, certified return receipt requested, so that your heirs have proof that that beneficiary designation form went in updated on XYZ date, in the case that the insurance company feigns that they did not receive the beneficiary change form. You're not going to get that from ChatGPT. So you're going to keep copies of all the beneficiary designation forms in one secure location, let your executor know where it is. And so the common beneficiary mistakes to check for is the ex-spouse is still listed, the deceased person is otherwise named still, minor children are listed directly, which requires a court guardianship, and no contingent beneficiaries, or the estate is listed as the beneficiary. That is horrible. It forces unnecessary probate. And all the percentages that you might have divvied out to various people or charities, they don't add up to 100%. So you're going to alleviate all that by filing new beneficiary forms for every single account for which a beneficiary form is otherwise due and able to be formed and able to be filed, excuse me. Special considerations: blended families consider life insurance to equalize the inheritance rather than relying on retirement account beneficiaries. If you have minor grandkids, let's say list a trust as the beneficiary, not the child directly, because you're going to avoid the court-supervised guardianship by doing so. For special needs beneficiaries, you're going to use a special needs trust as a beneficiary to protect the government benefits for that child or children. Here's the coordination test. Do your beneficiary designations align with your overall estate plan? If your will divides assets equally, but your largest account goes out to just one person, your plan doesn't actually do what you think it does. So the review frequency is after any major life change, immediately update your beneficiary forms. Annually as a part of your overall financial review. And then when tax laws change, when you move to a new state. Here's the warning signs that your designations need attention. You haven't reviewed them in 5+ years. You experienced a divorce, remarriage, or death in the family. You had kids or grandkids born. You acquired new accounts or policies or cryptocurrency accounts. You moved to a different state. Remember, these forms are among the most important estate planning documents you have, yet they're so often overlooked completely. 30 minutes of review today prevents years of family conflict tomorrow and endless costs. So when did you last review your beneficiary designations? When did you last submit new beneficiary designations that reflected where you are now and your current wishes? Comment checked if you've reviewed them in the past year. Checking if you're doing it this year below. Let's hold each other accountable, shall we? I'm Deborah Morrison. Hey, pay attention to the small stuff. It adds up.